YouTubers, it's Mocha Natural. I am back. Yes, I am. So after an almost 3-month hiatus from YouTube, I'm back to share an update of my MICROLOCS journey. So I would like to say that there's been a whole lot that has gone on since that time, but really, honestly, there really hasn't, okay? From month 5 to 6, really there was not a lot going on that was different. So I wasn't compelled to come back on to give an update, okay? Although, you know, at that point I was supposed to come back and, you know, let you guys know how many locks I had and of course show off my highlights, okay? We're gonna get into that. I know you guys can see the new color right now, but we're gonna get into that in a minute. From month 6 to 7th, I started to see a little bit of change with my new regimen of spritzing my hair daily with water and also basically decreasing the number of days that I was using leave-in conditioner down to once a week, okay? I had begun to actually see my locks start to do what I guess a plant does when it's no longer receiving enough moisture. My locks began to like wither and become thinner and skinnier. And so, you know, the fluffiness that I had seen, you know, the frizziness and all of that became less and less apparent. So what you'll see now, and I hate to have to kind of bend my knees, I'm already short. What you see now is you can basically see through my locks. You don't see a whole lot of the fluff that I was dealing with towards the end of month 5. Just to see my locks actually looking thin, you know, meant to me that the regimen that I had picked up was working, okay? So I'm going to continue with the daily, you know, spritzing of water, but now that I have color in my hair, I'm going to actually have to increase the leave-in conditioner, especially in this area. I don't want to deal with breakage that dyeing hair can, you know, sometimes, you know, experience. So an additional day of leave-in conditioner that's been added to my regimen, and so far so good, you guys. So let me tell you a little bit about this color. Let me tell you about the journey that I went through to get it to look like that, like this. All right, so my goal was to actually get it to look like a copper-ish type of color. I had that color actually last year when I had my loose natural hair, and I love the color on me. I really did. So I went and bought a box of Cream of Nature. Cream of Nature had a color that was called bronze something. It had bronze on there, okay? So that's what got my attention. Although the hair on the box looked a little reddish, because I have dark hair, the sample that was shown, you know, that the hair would turn to once the dye was in there was more of a bronzy type of color. So Miss Thing here puts it in her hair, okay? And it actually comes out looking a bit Ronald McDonald-ish. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on people who actually like to wear red dye in their hair. It's just not for me, okay? I was not feeling that color at all, so I decided that I wanted to go back in and add another color to my hair to kind of tone that down. So 2 days after that, I took a box of Dark and Lovely, I believe it was Golden Blonde, and I worked that into my hair. Now, my initial thinking was to just do the tips, you know, just do the tips of my hair, okay? Somehow, as I was working, you know, the color, the dye into my hair, my strokes began to move further and further closer to my roots. And next thing I know, I'm just stroking all of this in like that, just all of it. I'm just all of it. And so that's why, you know, you see pretty much down to the root the color here. After I rinsed it out and everything like that, I was pretty pleased with the color. Definitely it's not the red that I initially had, okay, with the Cream of Nature hair coloring. Oh goodness, that was like, I cannot go to work looking like this. I had to do something. So yeah, I actually want to, later on, I'm going to give myself another 6 months before I go back in. I want to lighten my hair up, maybe about 2 to 3 shades lighter. So it will most likely be a more of a blondish type of hair color that I'll have to use to lighten my hair. My hair is kind of difficult to lighten. I had to actually leave the coloring system on for about 45 minutes or so. Yeah, just to get it the color. And so yeah, I want to do a little bit lighter. So probably about the end of this year, I'm going to go back in and give myself a bit of a touch up with my coloring. But I like it. I like the contrast that I see here, that I have here between the dyed hair and my natural color, which is probably more like a 1B. Okay, so I just did, all I did was just this top section here, pretty much. I'm probably grabbing a little bit more than what I need to, but this is the top section here that I pretty much dyed. Okay, I don't know if I'll ever actually dye my entire hair. You know, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I like having you know, 2 tones of color in my hair. So, but anyhow, I like it. I'm pleased thus far with the color, and later on this year I will go back in and give it a little bit of a lightening. So that's that. All right, so lock count. For the longest, I had been saying that I believe that I have about 400 locks in my hair. Okay, there was that one time early on that I, you know, kind of I counted one section of my hair in the front. It ended up being like 100, maybe just over 100, and then I guesstimated what the rest of my, you know, the number of locks would be in my hair. So it had to have been close to, or at least 400, and I was actually right. So I ended up with 375 locks. This is why I was crying every time I have to actually, you know, retighten my locks. 375 locks. That's a lot of locks, okay? it feels like a lot, especially when you have to be responsible for retightening your own. Now, someone else, if you go to someone else to do it, I'm pretty sure it will take them maybe about 2.5 hours to do. Okay, but for myself, having my arms constantly extended in the air, 375 is a lot. So it takes me, I give myself a week pretty much, because I'm not sitting down for a very long time. You know, maybe give myself 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to watch a movie or something like that, and you know, get through it that way. So if I actually had like an entire weekend where I was doing nothing, okay, I could actually do my hair in 2 days. So all right, so what else? I don't think I actually told you guys what I use to retighten my locks. Okay, I'm a very simplistic type of person. I like to keep things very low maintenance, uncomplicated. Okay, my simple tool that I use to retighten my hair is this. A simple, I call it a soft bobby pin. And maybe it works right now for me because my hair is still pretty much on the short side, okay? So I'm able to easily get through the roots of my lock and pull the ends through. Once my hair begins to get some really good length on it, I don't know what tool is going to actually suit me. I'll just cross that bridge when I get there. But for right now, with the length that I have, this bad boy right here works. I probably paid like $1.50 for a pack of 100 of these things. So very cost efficient. No fancy tools or anything like that for me. So if I were to actually do someone else's hair, I'd be using this. What I feel, the stage that my hair is in right now, I feel, because my ends, as you can see, they're still not locked, they're still loose. I feel that I'm at the end of the teenage phase, okay? Even though the ends of my locks are still loose, pretty much, and no, I'm gonna just say they are, all of my locks are actually locked along the shaft, all of them. So I have no, concern whenever I go to wash my hair. There is no concern about any of my locks coming out anymore. Even with the ones around the nape of my hairline here, around the edges, the perimeter, I have no concern about them unlocking. The only reason why I actually retighten my perimeter line here before I shampoo is because the root actually seems to lengthen afterwards, and I just don't want to spend all that time retightening about 1.5 inches of root hair. So, but as far as them coming out at the end, no, I am well beyond that stage right now. None of these locks are coming out because of moisture, water, whatever have you, oil, whatever. Okay. So I feel that I am actually at the end of the teenage phase going into the adult phase. And I don't know how long it's actually going to take before my ends totally lock up, okay? So I've been studying and watching videos of Melissa Blake. She is a well-known sister lock consultant, or Microlock, should I say that? Because I think she said she's no longer a sister lock consultant. She does basically microlocks, which are basically sister locks. We all know that, okay? But anyhow, so I watched a lot of her videos. I think she's very knowledgeable when it comes to sister locks and microlocks and things like that. So teenage phase, from what she described along the shaft. I still have bumps in some of my locks. I had a really ugly one that I had to basically combine. I can't find it. Of course, I can't find it when I'm actually on camera, right? When I need to actually demonstrate that. But when you get to the adult phase, I was told that your lock should be a lot smoother. You don't have a lot of bumps, and some of my locks along the shaft are actually smoother. There are just a few in there that, because of bunching that occurred early on, you know, they're a bit lumpy. They're a bit lumpy, and I'm not going to, you know, cut it at this point. I'm just going to let it take its course, and when my hair gets to a length that I feel I need to cut it, I'll cut it. Okay, so but I'm, you know, at this point I feel like my hair is locked, except for the ends, except for the tips. They're locked. Okay, we're not reverting to anything right now. Okay, so I've been pretty much wearing my hair in the same simple styles that I had explained before, you know, with part of my hair going to the side and you know, this side here twisted up or whatever. And oftentimes I will switch sides, so I don't put a whole lot of pressure on just one side of my head, okay, because I don't want to suffer from like traction alopecia, and you know, we're not trying to lose locks along the hairline or anything like that. Okay, so I've been keeping it simple, and maybe my next video will be about some hairstyles that I've kind of tested on my short hair. But honestly, because I'm just, you know, low maintenance, I don't do a whole lot of styling. I really don't. So I love the way my hair just looks when it's down. You know, I can be just as free with it as I want to be. Okay, let's see what else. Some of the products that I'm using now. Again, I'm simplistic. I just want to keep things low maintenance. I'm only dealing with water, a leave-in conditioner, and an oil. Okay, I have not been really brand loyal when it comes to oil. Okay, now because of my hair texture is a 4C hair texture. All right, sometimes it has acted like it was 4Z, but I digress. But because of the coiliness of my hair texture, the oil that I pretty much found works best to keep my hair moisturized has been castor oil. Okay, I've been finding though that castor oil stinks. Okay, it stinks. Like, I've actually gone to the beauty store and just gone through and smelled several different castor oils. They all stink. All right, the one that I had been using was not Jamaican castor oil. It was basically the kind of castor oil you get from a pharmacy. All right, I'm not brand loyal, okay, when it comes to that. But all of them, still, they stink, you know. So I'm like, do I want to buy an extra oil that smells good just to make this thing work for me? No. No. So I decided to move on and try something else. I have actually used an oil, I think it's called Mega Growth. Yeah, I don't even think I kept the container, but anyhow, I'm pretty sure you guys, if you peruse the you know, I was at the local beauty store, you will find Mega Growth there. Now I am actually using this right here. I like this because there wasn't a whole lot of strange ingredients in it, number one. And number two, it's convenient with this spray nozzle. I love being able to get through my hair, spray it on real quickly, okay, and move on about my life. I don't have time to be sitting here, you know, taking a nozzle, which I was using prior to that with the castor oil, a thin nozzle, and I would go through each row of my locks and, you know, kind of apply the oil like that. I don't have time for that. Spray and go, that's what I need. All right. And also the leave-in conditioner that I'm using now twice a week. Okay. Right here. Yes, this still is number one for me, and yeah, I can't say any more about it. It works for me. All right. I did actually experience a casualty. Now, during the time that I had reduced the number of days that I was using leave-in conditioner, and my hair began to wither, okay, wither like a plant, like it was drying out, literally. over here on the side, I don't know if you guys can really see it. Shoot. It's somewhere here over on the side, and you probably could recognize it if it's like a little larger than the rest of my locks. But anyhow, lost a lock, all right? After I had shampooed my hair, I told you how, you know, the root, the hair at the root just seems like it just becomes unraveled. I don't know how, or just lengthens. There was a good 2 inches of it, and about this much of locked hair at the end. It was so dry. I mean, completely dry, that it wasn't getting the moisture that it needed, basically. And as I would you know, roll my hands through my hair, as I am always doing because I have hand and hair syndrome, ran my hair through my locks and pulled out, and out comes the lock with it, okay? So I'm looking at him like, oh my goodness. Fortunately, it didn't take all of my hair. Like, it just took, well, it left probably about 2 inches of the lock. Yeah, so the end piece, the part that was actually locked, lost all of that. So I actually had to combine. I also had to combine a few more, I think, up in this area. If you guys remember, very early on in my journey, probably around month 1, maybe 2, I decided to go back in the top area and split some of my locks to basically make my hair look fuller, because, you know, I have thin hair, and I just didn't like the look of you know, my locks at that time, just really thin. So I split a lot of the locks that were up in this area. So now, as time has gone on, I had to go back and recombine a few, not a whole lot, just a few of those locks, because the base, the root hair, was thinning, and I certainly did not want to lose yet any more locks, okay? I don't have time to be losing locks. So at that point, I realized, you know what? I've colored my hair, which basically makes my hair drier. I'm dealing with my, you know, the base of my locks thinning. I don't want to lose any more. And that was another thing that compelled me to start using more leave-in conditioner to make sure that my hair is getting the moisture that it needs, okay? I can't afford to lose locks. I don't want to look bald-headed in, you know, a few spots up in the top or whatever, okay? The frizziness that I was experiencing is really not an issue. I still have frizziness, okay? But I've accepted that that's part of the journey. All right. Kind of see back there in the middle there, I still need to do some retightening. Okay. I really feel like I have come to a point in my journey where I've gotten this skill pat down. I've gotten quite a few people who have come up to me and asked, you know, who did my hair, and, you know, they're surprised when I tell them that I did it, and, you know, they want to know all the details about how I started and all that stuff. And I take pride in the way that I've been caring for my hair. So it is at this time that I'm going to open up to the YouTube world that I am available for Microlock installation. All right, so if you are in the North Georgia area, please, you know, let me know your contact information, and we can kind of, you know, hook up to schedule something. I feel like at this point I have mastered the technique of microlocking. At this point, I no longer deal with mistakenly combining my locks. I know how to section off my hair properly so that that doesn't happen again, okay? My speed has also picked up a bit for me, so You know, with my own hair, you'll see some of the imperfections, some of the things that I had to go through in order to get to this point where I am confident in my technique. So I know that, you know, with doing someone else's hair, I have a bird's eye view of what I'm actually doing, instead of with my own hair, I'm kind of seeing in the blind pretty much, and still able to pull off a pretty good, you know, hairstyle. So I am actually excited about the opportunity to do someone else's hair. Okay, I would like to actually put together a style book, because this is something that I want to venture in as a business. This journey right here has just opened up a lot of opportunity for me, and I'm just willing to share everything that I've learned, and just willing to share the technique with you all as well. So I started out interlocking my hair with the four-point rotation. Okay, began to kind of experiment with some of my locks doing the 3-point rotation. So the 4-point rotation, of course, is the tightest rotation. I think I actually would like to just stick with the 3-point rotation. All right, it's going to give me a little bit more of bulk, you know, along the shaft of my locks, so it's not looking really thin. Of course, I don't want my locks looking extremely thin. As I look back on some of the videos that I've seen for sister locks and saw how thin their locks are, I'm so glad that I decided not to go that route, because number one, I don't have time to be retightening 600 locks, okay? It's just not for me at all. But you know, just thinking about the thinness that my hair would have resulted in, I'm not so sure how that would have turned out and if I would have liked that. So I am pretty satisfied with the width of the locks that I have right now. I'm satisfied with the size of the partings. I'm satisfied with all of that. So, but as I was saying before, I am now available to do microlocks installations. So if you are interested, you can go back and see, you know, the work that I've done on my own hair, how I started out. You know, we can start out just like I did with 2-strand twist, or we can, you know, just go right ahead and do interlocking. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get on off this video and let you guys go. I hope to see you guys in all of your progress, and we'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye now.